Today I will teach you the most important and the largest topic of geography class 10th NCERT. So today's topic is types of soil. Firstly, we will talk about alluvial soil. So alluvial soil is a fine-grained fertile soil deposited by the water flowing over floodplains or in river beds. This is the most important definition of alluvial soil. This is very important to remember. Now, most alluvial soils are derived from the sediment deposition by the river Ganga in the Indo-Gangetic plains, ranging from Punjab in the west to the West Bengal and Assam in the east, as well as in the coastal areas of northern parts of Gujarat and Narmada and Tapi valleys. So, this is the location of alluvial soil, where alluvial soil is found. Okay, the crops like wheat, rice, barley, maize, bajra, jowar, black gram, chickpea, soya beans, groundnut, jute, cotton, tobacco, pigeon pea, green pea are grown in the alluvial soil. Students, this is very important to learn and to memorize because this is the most important topic and comes in 5 marker question. So the next is this is the alluvial soil image. You can see that this is very finely grained. Okay, now black soil. Black soil has clay structure and highly fertile. This is very fertile soil, rich in calcium carbonate, magnesium, potash and lime. It is rich in calcium carbonate, magnesium, potash and lime, but poor in nitrogen and phosphorus. It is poor in nitrogen and phosphorus content. Highly retentive of moisture and extremely compact and tenacious when wet. It is tenacious. You can see that it is tenacious. मतलब grain like structures. Calcareous and neutral to mild alkaline in reaction, high in carbon exchange capacity and low in organic matter. It is low in organic matter content but high in carbon exchange capacity. It can exchange carbon in a very high quantity and because it has very high capacity. Self-plugging and comparatively less fertile on the uplands than on the lowlands. It is very fertile on lowlands as compared to uplands. Okay, this is very important. The most famous example is cotton. Okay, you can take the screenshot. You can. Okay, now I am coming with red and yellow soil. Now red soil is porous and has a high percentage of iron oxide. It is very high in iron oxide content. Okay, red soil is found to be shallow and its pH value ranges from 6.6 to 8.0. It is clearly mentioned that it is alkaline or basic, we can see. Red soil is not fertile but it does respond to fertilizer. It can respond to fertilizer because it is not fertile. These soils are poor growing soils low in nutrients and humus and difficult to cultivate because of its lower water holding capacity. It has very low water holding capacity and it is difficult to grow crops because it lacks humus and nutrients. These soils are found in the large tracts of western Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, southern Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and Chota Nagpur plateau of Jharkhand. This can be seen in the we can see that these are almost the southern countries, southern states of our country. Now laterite soil. Laterite soil is a soil of and rock type rich in iron and aluminium and is commonly considered to have formed in hot and wet tropical areas. This is formed in the hot and wet tropical areas and is rich in iron and aluminium contents. Nearly all laterites are of rustly colorization, means that they are red or brown in color. Okay. Laterite soil is reddish to yellow in color with a lower content of potassium, phosphorus, nitrogen, lime and magnesia with 90% and 100% of aluminium, iron, titanium and manganese oxides. Okay. Laterite soil is formed under conditions of heavy rainfall. It requires heavy rainfall with alternate wet and dry periods. It requires dry periods at alternate periods. It lacks fertility because of the lower base exchanging capacity and a lower content of phosphorus and nitrogen and potassium. This you have to read important. Okay, the next is the laterite soil image. This is the image of laterite soil. You can see that it is red in color, that I have said you previously. Now we will see the arid soil which can be found in Rajasthan, mostly in Rajasthan. The soil is brown in color. It is sandy in texture. It is brown in color and sandy in texture. It is saline in nature and lacks humus and moisture. It means that the salt content is very high and lacks humus and moisture. Arid soil contains a substantial amount of soluble salt. It contains soluble salts like NaCl. It is alkaline in nature because there is no rain to wash soluble salts. It is basic in nature, which is soluble in water. These soils are very infertile in nature. Arid soils are most characterized by their water deficiencies. The water deficiencies in these type of soil is very common and very high. It contains high levels of gypsum, calcium carbonates and sodium. It contains high levels, matlab the content of gypsum, calcium carbonates and sodium is very high. Now talking about the forest or mountainous soil. This is the last soil type. The soils are heterogeneous in nature because there is no one type of soil. There are many types of soil mixed in each other. The property of soil varies with mountainous climate and altitude. The properties of soil, मतलब जैसे कोई 1000 मीटर पे सॉइल की प्रॉपर्टी कुछ और होगी, 1500 पे कुछ और होगी एंड 500 पे कुछ और होगी. The soils comprises of high amount of humus but are deficient in potash, phosphorus and lime. It has high content of humus but deficiencies in potash and phosphorus and lime. The soils are adequate and suitable for plantation of tea, coffee species and tropical fruits. Tea and coffee and tropical fruits grow best in forest or mountainous soil. The soil is loamy and silty in valley sides and coarse grained in the upper slopes. It is loamy means it doesn't mix, but it seems to be mixed better. The soil is acidic with low humus content in the snow covered areas. The soil is acidic, not neutral, not alkaline. It is fertile in the lower parts of the valleys. It is only fertile in the lower parts of the valleys. Hope you understood the concept of the types of the soil. Thank you. Keep learning and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon.